That's for the batteries. Hey. Wait, look like it.
Okay, folks. Anybody hear me?
I believe this one's here.
I think we need to get started, guys.
Yeah. Speak up.
I gotta go. Okay, folks, we're going to start the meeting. Are we good? Got a lot of work to do tonight, so let's get it rolling, okay? I'd like to call this March 3, 2026 meeting of the Henderson City County Planning Commission to order. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming. We do appreciate your willingness to participate. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. David Dixon.
Here.
Kevin Richard.
Here.
Bobby Jarrett.
Here.
Mac Arnold.
Here.
Dickie Johnson.
Here.
Gary Gibson.
Here.
Kevin Herron.
Here.
Gray Hodge. Stacy Denton.
Here.
Frank Boyette.
Here.
Heather Crooks.
Here.
Kurt Hamilton.
Here.
Do we have a quorum?
We do, thank you.
Very good. Most of our work this evening will involve a public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to enter public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion in this and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of entering public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We're in public hearing. I think we might have use for our standard speaking rules, folks, so if you don't mind, I'm going to read this proposed set of rules. We use this often and ask for the commission to put them in place tonight. If the Henderson City County Planning Commission regularly scheduled meeting for 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 3, 2026 has not been sooner concluded and adjourned, it will stop at 9 p.m. and by motion and vote of the Planning Commission be continued and reconvened the following night, Wednesday, March 4, 2026 at 6 and stop at 9 p.m. and by motion and vote of the Planning Commission be continued and reconvened at 6 p.m. and stop at 9 p.m. from night to night thereafter until finished. The Planning Commission wants to hear all evidence, comments, statements, positions, and suggestions, collectively called comments. Each presenter may or may not allow questions during their presentation at their discretion. All general comments will be heard at the end after all presentations by the staff and the applicant, unless the chairman elects otherwise, or unless changed by vote of the Planning Commission. There will be no time limit on attorneys, and attorneys will present and comment first. We will begin with attorneys, then non-attorneys. Each non-attorney will initially be given 3 minutes. After every non-attorney has had 3 minutes, if there are non-attorneys who would like additional time, an additional 3 minutes will be given, and this procedure will be repeated until everyone has had an opportunity to present all they wish to present. Speakers are asked not to repeat something another speaker has said, but may come forward and say they agree with one or more other speakers and present anything new they may have. Planning Commission members may comment and ask questions at any time. I will entertain a motion to put these speaking rules in place.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of using these rules tonight, say yes.
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 Any opposed? Very good. That moves us to rezone in 1182 with a development plan. Mr. Bishop, I think you're going to kick that off.
Yes, sir. Rezone in 1182 with a development plan is submitted by Sarah Hutchinson, Revocable Living Trust for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2560 Highway 136 East, being parcel ID number 65-2.5, containing approximately 6.03 acres. The applicant is requesting a zoning change map amendment with a development plan to rezone from agriculture to highway commercial. With that, the staff will give a little bit of background on this. The applicant is proposing the construction of approximately 20,100 square foot building and the related improvements such as parking and walkways and entrances. The applicant is also proposing the construction of approximately 600 linear feet of street that will be accepted into the city system if it is built to the subdivision regulations. If the rezoning is approved, staff recommends that it be subject to a major subdivision with the related construction drawings for the road, water lines, and things of that nature, and for an engineered site plan to come back to the Planning Commission where we would look at drainage, lighting, and things of that nature. The future land use map of the comprehensive plan shows this is developing in a commercial nature. And a reminder to everyone in the crowd and on the Plan Commission, the Plan Commission makes a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. This is not the final decision. This is outlined in KRS 12111. And one thing to make note of, the rezoning process only regulates the use, not any particular retailer or business. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, I'll do my best to answer any questions.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I said Highway 136, I meant Highway 60 East. Sorry about that.
Very good. Could we, we'll look first at the rezoning and then the development plan. Is that the procedure here?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to, as has been said, we're going to gather information from everybody, and based on that information, make a recommendation to the City Commission on the possible rezoning of this and the development plan. So like I say, well, they can take our recommendation and do nothing. They can take it and put it into place. They can hold their own hearing and start over. So there's a lot of possibilities still ahead. In any case, the applicant's requesting a zoning change from agricultural to highway commercial. Is that correct?
Correct.
Neighboring zones are what?
We have neighboring zones of agricultural to the east and south, residential 1 to the southwest, and then commercial to the west, and then agricultural to the northwest, and then it looks to be commercial across the street, and then I believe the apartment buildings are R3,
Okay,
multifamily.
good. Does the commission have any questions for staff at this point? Okay. Do we have anyone who would like to speak in favor of this rezoning this evening? Sir. I need
Dane Shields,
Your address?
101 First Street, Henderson, Kentucky.
And do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
I'm the attorney of record for the applicant, Goodwill. This is a zoning change and also a request to amend the zoning map. I'm the attorney, but I have witnesses that have knowledge who are affiliated with Goodwill. And I'll identify them. I'm not going to call them all. I'm going to try to stay with 2 witnesses. I have seated on the first and the second row, I have Connie Ralph. Connie is the CEO and the president of the Evansville Goodwill Industries. I have Jim Morley. Jim, if you raise your hand. Jim is an engineer. He has been involved in this job, on a professional basis from the beginning, and he will stay with it throughout the project. I have Dan Timmy. Dan is a board member of Goodwill, and also he's a licensed surveyor. And I'm sorry, architect. We're not quite at that stage yet to draw the renderings, but he's on board to do that once that's stopped. I have 3 board members here, Jared McIntosh, who is the chairman of the board. I have Mike West, and I have Claire Esche. This is a request to amend the zoning map. Now, I would offer to this group that this is on Highway 60 East. As you come off the Cloverleaf and pass Walmart and Chapel Hill Methodist Church, there's a stoplight right at the Methodist Church. That stoplight is the intersection where, coming from Henderson, if you turn right, you go into this 6-acre tract. So it's right there. It's already an intersection. It's been used going 3 ways for years. This will be the use going into what was an agricultural tract that's now a 6-acre property that's under contract for sale to Goodwill if it can be converted to commercial use. Now, Brian mentioned that this use that is being requested, we're agriculture right now, this is part of the Warren Farm, George Warren Farm. Since Interstate 69 has come in, from the intersection of I-69 to the Cloverleaf, this is on that strip. And the future land use map that is a component of the comprehensive plan has this location designated as commercial. Did I say that right, Brian?
Yes, sir.
So we're asking for a rezoning consistent with the proposed development according to the future land use map, which is a component of the comprehensive plan. So we're not asking this commission to make any exceptions or find that there's been substantial changes in the neighborhood. This is how it is envisioned that this highway strip will unfold in the future. This is the first development from the I-69 interchange going to the Cloverleaf. Now, this is Goodwill Industries. Some of you may be familiar with the Goodwill store at the corner of South Green and Sand Lane. That is a store that has been in operation for decades. It employs 34 people. Connie Ralph will speak to this new store, so there's no proposal to close the new store. This will be a second independent Goodwill store employing at least the number of people that the present store employs. This will be a $5 to $6 million investment by Goodwill into Henderson County, bringing jobs, additional jobs into Henderson County. Goodwill is a 501c3. They're a not-for-profit. They have been for decades. They've been a neighbor, a commercial neighbor in the tri-state since the 1930s. And this is a company that's well established and well run, and they seek to expand in Henderson County. This rezoning is the first step. There will be other requirements along the way that will deal with subdivision, that will deal with construction drawings, that will deal with engineering, every one of which Goodwill is committed to full compliance. And they have a team together that is well experienced in commercial development. And we'll touch on those qualifications and experience as we go through this. If I could, procedurally, what I'd like to do, if I could kind of stand here, and I'd like to call up two witnesses, one at a time. One, Connie Ralph, who is the CEO and the president, and ask her questions so we can get her information in bite-sized nuggets instead of just a narrative that goes on. Mr. Chairman, are you okay with that procedure?
I think that's going to be okay. First of all, does the commission have any questions for this gentleman at this moment? Okay. You can, yes, if you have someone else you'd like to bring forward, please do so.
I appreciate that. Connie Ralph, would you please come forward and give your name and your address, please?
Connie Ralph. My home address is 12474 South Rosetta Drive, Hopstadt, Indiana.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good. Thanks for coming.
Connie, could you please tell us your affiliation and your position with Goodwill?
Yes, I'm the president and CEO.
And how many years have you been in the employment and the association with Goodwill?
34 years.
And how long have you been the CEO of Goodwill?
7 years.
Now, when we say Goodwill before the commission, is this the local affiliation of Goodwills?
Yes.
Could you please tell the commission the CEO organization that you're over, how many Goodwill stores in how many counties and states are you speaking of?
Okay. Evansville Goodwill is located in Evansville. We are responsible for providing services and retail stores throughout 28 counties in Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois. We currently operate 14 retail stores and an outlet throughout that territory.
Now, this proposed store, which would be your second store in Henderson County, will it be your 15th store?
Yes, that'll be our 15th.
Is there any discussion or plans on closing the present Goodwill store that is at the corner of Sand Lane and South Green?
No, our current plans are to keep that store open and continue to employ people at both locations.
Now, employment, let's talk about jobs a minute. Can you please tell the commission how many employees that you have at your current operation at Sand Lane and South Green?
We currently employ 34 employees.
All right. Now, what type of jobs are those, and what type of employees are you looking for to run these stores?
Yeah. The jobs consist of a management team that is responsible for the leadership of the store, as well as people who accept donations. They're called donor greeters, sales associates, and production associates. These positions are somewhat entry level, the majority of them, except for the management team, and the management team will consist of at least 4 to 5 different employees.
Okay. Now, if you go to Sand Lane and South Green, there's a front door and parking out front, and that usually seems busy.
Yeah, usually.
And then if you're a donor and you want to donate things to the store, you come to the back door. Are there people there to come out to receive and help you unload?
Yes.
Are you a 501c3?
Yes, we are.
And how long have you been given that designation by the Internal Revenue Service?
As soon as that designation became available, which I believe was in the 50s, but we have been in the area since 1935.
Okay. Now, this new store, approximately, I mean, when you start building stuff, it's hard to say what that's going to cost, but do you have a rough range on what you're going to have invested, new dollars in this community with this new store on 60 East?
Right, our current estimate is $5 to $6 million.
All righty. Now, do you have a team that you've assembled to help Goodwill get through the process, which is step by step? You understand that?
Absolutely.
This is one of the first steps.
Yes.
Who is your engineer in charge of the engineering of this?
Jim Morley.
And the plat that's been presented as the site plan, is he on that plat?
Yes,
Do you have an architect on staff?
yes,
And is that Dan Timmy?
yes.
All righty. That may be all the questions that I have for you. Now, we'll open it up, please, if any of you would like to ask Ms. Ralph questions.
Commission have any questions at this point? Okay, so someone else you'd like to bring forward, sir?
There's one more question I'd like
Okay.
to ask her, please. Now, there's a development plan that Morley and Associates has submitted, and it has the intersection coming off of Highway 60 East, Watson Lane.
Yes,
Okay. And then it has a public street that is on that plat that is approximately
Roughly 600 feet.
600 feet. Who is paying for that street that is going to be dedicated to the city of Henderson?
Goodwill.
Okay. So you are paying for that improvement, and then you understand that's going to be transferred
Yes.
to the city of Henderson?
Yes.
All right. And you are aware that building that street is not just whatever you want to do. It's according to city standards and
Yeah.
county,
Subdivision regulations are both city and county.
city and county. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
And you're committed to the long haul of doing a class act?
Yes,
All righty.
exactly.
Now, can you, one other thing, I'm sorry. The way this building will look, we know, most of us will know what Sand Lane and Green looks like. Will this be identical, or will this be a new exterior?
Yeah, it'll be different from that look in the current store. We will actually be doing a much more modern and contemporary look that will mirror what we did in Evansville at the Washington Square Mall renovation when we purchased the Sears building.
Okay, so one of your buildings is the old Sears building at Washington Square Mall.
Yes,
And it has a new look to it. And that look will be similar to what this is, but not exactly.
yes. It'll be similar to that. It'll have a similar appearance. Of course, the shape will be, and it will obviously be smaller.
Yes, and this
Yes.
is a 20,000 square foot store you've got planned for Henderson.
Yes, approximately.
Is that approximately the same size as the Sand Lane, South Green?
It's probably a little bigger.
Okay, all righty.
I have a question. On our drawing up there, we see the building, we see the road. Our consideration tonight also includes that part of that lot to the west of the road, right?
Correct.
What, is there a plan for that?
The road will essentially divide the 6-acre lot. There's no current, and you correct me, there's no current sale proposed. It will be space. It's located behind the existing church that is the neighbor to them to the west. So that may be available for something in the future, and it's owned by Goodwill.
Okay, and it is part of the request that we're considering tonight to
Yes.
Yes,
change
it's
the
the
commercial.
6-acre tract that includes.
Okay, it's just an odd shape to the whole thing.
It is. It's ended up as an odd shape.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Dane, you've covered just about everything, engineering and architect. What about the construction part of it? Do y'all have a particular contractor lined up like you have in the past?
We do not have one lined up at this point in time.
Okay,
We would bid it out,
Yes,
okay.
and with an architect, and the architect and it would be under the supervision of what the plan is. And we want to get it done right. This is a major investment, and they want to do it right, and they have the means to do it. So
yes.
we'd have to get a construction company online with this. once we get the approval to start construction.
Mr. Shields?
Yes, Mr. Hamilton.
Is this inside the city limits now?
Can you, we think so.
It is? Okay. And my second question is, zoning is, I know it's zoned agricultural now. What's actually there?
It's a field.
It's an empty field?
Yes.
That's what yeah.
I have mud on my tires from driving through there this morning.
It's not being used for anything, really? right
It's
now,
not.
production?
It's been part of the George Warren farm that's been there forever. And then this particular tract was conveyed by one Warren trust to the applicant owner at this time. So there's a lot of other farmland that surrounds this that is proposed to be commercial with the I-69 intersection just right down the road. I mean, it's half mile.
It's like 2 miles.
Yeah, it's not far.
Okay, not too far.
Yeah, but I guess, but this is not being used for anything
No.
productive at this point? No tillable acreage, no,
I would say that's tillable.
well, it's not being tilled.
It's not being tilled right at the present, but we're off season.
Right.
But that is farmland.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Other questions from the commission? Good. Was there someone else you'd like to introduce?
Yes, one other one, please.
Okay. Thank you,
Um,
ma'am. We may need you back.
Thank you, Connie. Jim Morley, please. Junior. Jim, would you please introduce yourself and the company that you own and are affiliated with?
Jim Morley Jr., President of Morley Corporation.
Your address, sir?
4800 Rosebud Lane, Newburgh, Indiana, 47630.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Very good.
Jim, you're appearing tonight in a professional capacity. Can you tell us what your profession is?
So I'm a registered land surveyor and registered engineer. Registered land surveyor in Indiana, registered engineer in Kentucky.
All right.
And we do civil site design and platting. And so we would be, our company would be the land surveyors and civil engineers for this project.
Are you second generation, your company?
Yes, sir. Second generation, we're celebrating our 50th year this year.
All righty. Was your father the founder of the company?
Yes, sir.
Have you done commercial construction projects in the Commonwealth of Kentucky?
Yes, we have.
Have you done projects in Henderson County, Kentucky?
Yes, we have.
All right. And this is one of the first steps in dealing with the city and county of Henderson. You understand that. There are other processes we will need to go through before this project takes off from the ground. As long as you and Goodwill are on the same page, are you committed with staying throughout this procedure?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, is it your information that the intersection that turns into the property, that is a existing intersection that's currently being used for traffic going in 3 directions?
Yes, sir.
And the proposed street coming off at the existing intersection, going into the Warren Trust property that we're talking about today, that will create an entryway into an agricultural site that will be converted to commercial for future development.
Yes, sir.
Now, with this project right here, does your project create any new entryways into or onto Highway 60 East other than the intersection that is existing?
No, the new road would be extended south from the existing intersection, and in fact, the existing signal, traffic signal there already has lights pointed towards the grass field. So when you were out at the site this morning getting mud on your tires, when you pulled up to the stoplight, you actually had to wait for that light to turn green for you to leave the field.
And that's what happened.
That's good, we don't want to break any rules.
That's right. So this entryway coming into the subdivision, that's a KYTC intersection where Brian, can you help me with that? KYTC?
KYTC, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Okay, so that intersection is there, and it was previously existing, so we're not creating anything new except coming into existing. And there's been a light there forever.
Long time.
For a long time, since that intersection is there. So you're not proposing any new stoplights up and down Highway 60 East, it's the existing light.
Correct.
All righty. Now, the street itself, that street will be paid for by the applicant, and you will assist the applicant in following subdivision regs to get that constructed.
Yeah, the street will be fully designed in accordance with the subdivision code and built to city standards.
Can you give us just an approximate cost of a private company investing money to build a street and then giving it to the municipality?
For this road, it's probably about $250,000.
All right. Okay. Very good. That's all the questions that I have. Are there any questions for Mr. Morley from the commission?
Any questions at this point? Very good, thank you.
Thank y'all.
That's all the questions and the witnesses I have. I have board members here. We brought them along in case there were questions about something.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have anyone else here this evening that would like to speak in favor of this rezoning?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say my opinion on what they're all they're doing.
Okay, yeah, let's do this one side, then we're going to do the other side.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood you.
My bad. Okay, anybody else here this evening wants to speak in favor of this? Okay, are there those? Oh, sir.
I'm neutral, so I'm not in favor or against, but I have some questions.
Okay, if there don't have anybody who has a in favor type of angle here, then sir, why don't we hear from you?
Okay.
There might be others here that just have questions. Your name?
Okay, Edward Shaw,
Okay, and your address?
2834 Trails Way, Owensboro, Kentucky.
Okay. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Very good.
Okay, I am the pastor of the church next to the field,
Okay?
the Henderson Seventh-day Adventist Church. So I'm the pastor of that church. I've been the pastor less than 2 years, about 18, 19 months. So I'm new to the area, don't really know it very well. So we see that field every day, every Sabbath, every time we go to church. I just have some questions about the property line. Is our property line going to be, adhered to? Like, they're not going to cross over into our
Okay.
church's property? I want to make sure of that. And the other question is, do we have to worry about any kind of chemicals that through the construction or anything? And if there are chemicals used, will they have SDSs that we can have or at least have access to? so we know throughout the construction and maybe the Goodwill operation, anything that we need to be worried about.
Okay.
So, and the other thing is, are we in the city or are we under the city or are we in county? City.
That's the little, I believe, if you could pull up the GIS, there's a weird little island of county right there, I believe, but let us verify that on our GIS system. Mr. Chairman, can we come back to that while that's loading?
Okay.
Okay, so that leads to my next question, because it would be beneficial, one thing that would be beneficial for us with this construction is if we could get on the city sewer system. Because right now we are not on the city sewer system.
Okay.
Okay, so those are just the concerns that we have. We want to make sure, and there is a cemetery behind our church. We want to make sure that is maintained and not infringed upon. And also our property line, and I'm not, are they going to conduct a survey to where the property?
Okay, I'll try to get answers to these questions.
Okay.
Anything else?
All right, so that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have someone here who can address this gentleman's questions?
I would ask our surveyor and engineer, Jim Morley, to come forward.
Okay. I believe you're already sworn in, sir. So the question is about the property line. Has that been established?
Yeah, Jim Morley Jr. So I tried to take some notes here on Mr. Shaw's questions. Yeah, on the site plan that you had on the screen a while ago, we've done a full survey of that property. And so we would not cross over the property lines. They have no rights to cross over onto the church, and so they would not be crossing onto the church property lines. Yeah, that site plan.
I'll second.
And so I can show you if I'll step over, if that'd be all right.
Okay.
This darker black line right here and right here, those are the existing church property lines.
Okay.
And so we surveyed all that, and so yeah, we would be staying off of church property for sure.
There would be setbacks in place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The predetermined setbacks by the city zoning ordinance.
There's setbacks, and relative to the road, we have to line the road up with the intersection, and it needs to be straight as it comes through that intersection. And so up in that area, the road is also quasi-defined in its location based on the existing intersection where we have to connect to. He had also asked about chemicals.
Yes.
We would be using standard construction, materials and stuff like that. I mean, I guess, when you paint, there's some paint thinner, it's got chemical in it or something, but nothing non-normal construction materials that I'm aware of.
Mr. Morley, and maybe somebody else could, I think the gist of his question, I heard him say if he asked, so I guess if he had concerns, would there be somebody that he could contact or would be opposed to providing him the SDSs if a concern would arise and they were just
Yeah,
curious?
if they have a concern, for sure, I can give him my contact information before I leave, and he can always reach out to me, and I could get him the information.
Okay.
And so if you catch me before we leave, I'll give you my contact information. The question about the church being on sanitary sewer, we will have to extend sanitary sewer from off-site to get to here. Have not done that full design yet. So I don't know 100% about the elevations and such. But when we get into that process, I've got note that that's something the church would like to get on the sanitary sewer if that be possible. And then I also took note about a cemetery being behind the church. Obviously, we won't be crossing a property line, but I did take note of that also to make sure we're aware of that also.
So you can't speak to how many graves are in that cemetery?
I can't.
I didn't think so.
I'm sure at least one.
Oh, yeah.
But I took note of that also, and so we'll pay attention to that too.
Okay. I mean, this cemetery we're speaking of is owned by the church, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The other question I had was the question of city or county. Have we figured that out?
Yes, sir. So if you'll see the screen, the church, the parcel that Jennifer has the cursor on, that and the two properties to the west are a little pocket of county, as is the parcel that Jennifer's showing now. They're weird little pockets of county. As far as the sewer tap, he could request that through HWU, and a lot of times they will have them sign basically a document saying they would not fight annexation when that comes. So I think that's probably possible, but it would be done at their expense.
Okay, so we've got, these lots are totally they're in the county, but they're totally surrounded by city.
Yes.
Okay?
Ours is in the city,
Yeah.
but
Right.
but the church's is in the county.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
One to the east is county.
Okay, we need to come back to
To
the,
your construction, isn't it?
we need to come back to the podium, sir,
Oh,
so
sorry.
we can get you recorded.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, sorry.
She's the one to the east where the trees are. If you're saying that's county, that's right outside of this. Oh, is it outside of their zone? It is, okay.
I see where the green line is.
Oh. Okay.
Just a
I
side
was just
note,
confused.
GIS isn't always going to be 100% accurate, so that's when we would take that survey data. Once the surveyor does that, and we go in and people that are much better at mapping than me, and make those changes so that the lines will line up. So it's never going to be 100% there until we have official survey data to be able to go in and do that.
But there is no doubt that the lot that we are discussing this evening is in the city.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have questions they'd like to have answered? Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm Marty Coursey, 2731 US Highway 60 East.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Progress is wonderful, and, you know, one way or another, this is going to happen. I live at 2731 US Highway 60 East. The only question I have is, we're across the street. We're 2 houses down from the apartment complex. The turning lane is the only thing I'm just curious about. If they had to do it, if the county or city has to do a traffic study, or, you know, how far does that turning lane go? Because when we do turn left into our house, I don't want oncoming traffic coming at me.
That will be addressed through the subdivision process and the site plan.
Okay.
KYTC and the city both will have to sign off on this, so that will be something that they
Okay.
answer. But KYTC has final approval on their road.
Okay. Okay.
The question has to do with there is a turn lane there now?
There is a turning lane there now. Most people, the house right beyond the apartment complex, the Littorals, I believe, live there, our house, and then 3 other houses, and then Frontier Drive. They all use that turning lane to go left, either into the housing, our houses, or into Frontier Lane. I'm just, it's going to be addressed, so.
Yes, it will.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anyone else have questions?
Name's Timothy Hall,
Okay, your address?
1989 Wesley Drive.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good.
I had a question about the street that goes into this. Is that the only street there will be, or will there be another street to go through the property onto another location? Does the city have a plan for an additional street?
Okay. Any other questions?
That's all. That's the only question I have.
Okay. Can anyone here speak to that?
Well, that would pretty much depend on the desires of the landowners, wouldn't it?
I would think so, and the city. Oh.
Well, the reason-
Put
the
the
reason
plan
I-
back up, please. The development plan, so we can see what we're talking about. At the moment, this proposed street dead ends at the back of the lot, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Does there have to be a secondary street to get to Highway 60, or would that be the only available street?
At this time, it's the only available street.
But if that were developed, down there? What would the status be?
We can't say because we don't know what the future development could be or would be, or if it will ever exist.
Okay, that's the only question I have.
Okay.
We would be notified, obviously, I assume, if there would be another street proposed at that time.
What's the zoning on that, the lot below it there? That we did into?
Residential one.
It's A.
Okay. So for that to be developed, we'd have to come back for a zoning change?
Correct, depending on the use. So for example, if they wanted to build a subdivision, it would most likely go through a rezoning for residential. If it's a commercial subdivision, a similar process what we're doing here, ag to highway commercial.
If someone wanted to farm it, I assume they could use that street to get back to their farm.
If the city would allow it, I think a lot of it would probably determine on weight limit.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? Yes?
Good evening, and thank you for hearing me.
Your name, sir?
My name is Robert Klum,
And your address?
2015 Wesley Drive, Henderson, Kentucky, 42420.
And do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but
Yes,
the truth?
sir, I do.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Couple questions.
Okay.
They're talking about investing $5 to $6 million in their current facility. I believe there are a significant number of lots behind them on Sand Lane that could be utilized also, in my opinion. Again, I'm not into construction, but just a thought. Enlarge that facility. Why are we having two such facilities in Henderson? How many does, I'm curious, how many does Evansville have?
3 stores.
Oh, 3 stores? Okay, all right. Was not aware of that. Thank you. The current lot is laid out, is definitely in the city. I live about a half a mile further east out Highway 60, behind Pebble Creek Apartments and the Aqua City Swim Club. I guess one suggestion that I would have is contact the people at Wegmans grocery stores up in the Northeast. They would employ a lot more people in that store, and they are rated as one of the #1 places of employment in the Northeast. They constantly come out as #1 in their employee rating. Just thank you. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Could someone address the question of the need or the wisdom of a second store in Henderson? Thank you, ma'am.
The reason that we want to locate on the other side of town is for the convenience of our donors and our shoppers. When you only have one location, regardless of how big it is, somebody's going to have to travel a distance in order to get there. So we are very intentional about trying to locate new stores throughout our region in locations that are easily accessible by people in that area.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the commission? Okay. Very good. Anyone else like to address this question? Ma'am, I think you, would you like to speak? Yes. Okay. Your name, please?
Deborah Sire, but I'm not saying my address because certain people watch TV that I do not want them to come over and bother me.
Okay.
But I live here in Henderson.
Okay. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Good.
I know other places that can build a Goodwill. Either have a building where Trees and Trends is, and it's around restaurants. If somebody's hungry, when they get through shopping, they can go eat. And also, see which one it was. I forgot what the other one was. Oh, yes, where the old flea market used to be, and they tore down that building. They could have it there. And they should not have the Goodwill there because that is a flood zone. Plus, they're gonna mess up wildlife because there's bald eagles that's, you know, like on the north by the bridge. They're protected. They tear the trees down there. They will destroy their nests and their homes. There's deer there. Plus, there's wild turkey. My son's seen wild turkeys there. My daughter even seen a mother deer and a baby deer walking on the sidewalk towards Walmart. And we do not need it like that, especially in a flood zone. Because people tries to go through there when it rains or snows, they get stuck. They had to be towed out. I've seen this myself. Plus, I agree with him about I can't remember what it was, but there is other places they can build a Goodwill at. And is there any way, when they build the Goodwill by our church, Seventh-day Adventist, can they put up some kind of a wall there? And also people will play their boom, boom, boom and disturb people in church on Saturdays with that, and you cannot have church and be able to listen to the pastors when they do that. Plus the light when you're going toward to go either to Walmart or Pebble Creek, they need to have that light where they have a left turn signal or straight, because if they don't, there's going to be a lot of wrecks there. Just like they had one up here by Ellis Park by the bridge, because a van hit a motorcycle and tore the motorcycle up. Because people's not paying attention to the traffic, and they're figure, well, I got my license, I can do what I want, go as fast as I want. They don't care about other people and their lives.
Anything else, ma'am?
Pardon?
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Commission have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, the only thing that we should address there is that no portion of this in the floodplain, this lot that we're looking at right now.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anyone else like to speak to this issue this evening?
Are you talking negative now?
Yes, anything you like.
Are we doing comments now?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, yes.
I am Lisa Thompson-Meyer, and my address is 13341 Highway 136 East in Henderson.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. I've got several items I want to bring up. First of all, I don't see where there's a need, because I actually drive by the existing Goodwill down on the south end, and there's rarely few cars there. I would say the most I've seen there is maybe 6 or 7. So I'm wondering about, how much is going to be there as far as customers and so forth. The items, I've never been in there, but I have friends that go there, and they tell me that the items are very expensive. Like jeans that have been donated will be like $20, and you can go to Kohl's or any of the department stores and actually buy them for that price or less. So I'm still this goes along with the need. And then the other concern is I do have a house very close by, and I'm wondering about the property values. Is this going to impact the property values in that area? I have one close to the one that's existing, and then I have one that's there in New Frontier also, and I have a big concern about the property values. Will they be going down, or will it impact them at all? Another question I have is they advertise that they are nonprofit, but their president makes over $700,000 a year before, or that's what's been in the newspapers, before they're actually his bonus and all those kind of things. And I would assume the people that are under him, That doesn't include his bonus, and the people under him would be making those type of salary too. But yet, they're only going to be paying, according to what was in the newspaper, wage rates of $13 an hour, but it says that some people will be getting 22 cents an hour to 75 cents an hour. I don't see that that has a lot of advantages in increasing people that live here's standard of living. You know, if there are people working there, I wouldn't work for 22 cents an hour or 75 cents or 13, but I think that's critical to looking at anything that's going to take up that kind of space and a new development. We want it to be profitable and offer things to the county or the city, both. And also, it's my understanding there will be no benefits for anyone that works there, any of the part-time people. And that's a concern also, because a lot of those people that are making 22 to 75 cents, I'm sure that they're on welfare or some other government program. So how is that going to help Henderson if, you know, they don't have any income, and then they won't have any benefits either? That's a big concern. Another concern I have is on the people that will be working there. Are those going to be people that would be desirable in that area? My renters in that house and the other house, they've always had concerns about the people that are coming in there or the people that are working there, if they're drug addicts or if they have, you know, substance abuse problems or whatever. That is a huge concern for me also, as far as my property values.
Very good. I've got several concerns you share with us. Your 3 minutes is up.
I've got just 2 more.
Well, you'll get another 3 minutes here in a second, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
We're going to keep on going.
Can I address something? One thing that I mentioned before, the Planning Commission cannot regulate particular uses. We certainly cannot regulate the market value that Goodwill sees, the items that they take in, the hourly rate, or the people they employ. That is not under the purview of the Planning Commission. And ultimately, when we forward that to the Board of Commissioners, it's not going to be part of our report because we cannot act on that.
Okay. Anyone else you'd like to respond?
If we could have just a moment to respond
Yes.
to a couple matters, could I please call the President and the CEO up again, please? So that we're dealing with facts instead of non-facts. Could you tell us what the minimum rate that you pay your employees at the Goodwill at Sand Lane and South Green?
The minimum's $13 an hour.
So this 13 cents an hour or whatever, do you know anything about that?
No, I do not.
Is that in your store?
No.
Okay. It's none of my business, but do you make $700,000 a year?
I do not.
Do you know anybody that works for Goodwill that makes $700,000?
I do not.
Is that news? I mean, I guess people can come up and say anything. What you're saying, is it factual?
Yes, what I'm saying is factual.
All right, that's all.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak in opposition to this project or have questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
I have a
Commissioner?
question for Mr. Bishop.
Sir.
So the proposal that's before our commission is to change the zoning regulation from commercial, or from agricultural to highway commercial, correct?
Correct.
Does the planning commission, or, you know, if this is approved, this change is approved by the fiscal court or
Board of
by
Commissioners.
city government?
Yeah.
The Board of Commissioners, right. Do they have any way to say what actually goes into this space, subject to all the codes and everything else? I mean, if we wanted, if the owners of the property wanted to build a Prada store or a Ferrari dealer or, you know, a Target or something like that, as long as it fits in the space, do we have any say-so on what the actual use is?
I do not believe so. I think if it meets the intent of the zoning ordinance and is a permitted or conditional use that's outlined in the city zoning ordinance, it can go there.
If we approve this development plan that's attached, is that
That
can
becomes,
then be changed?
it would have to come back to the plan commission for that. So the development plan is recorded in the courthouse under what we call a LUR, land use restriction. So that way, when someone comes in, they do a title search, or they want to buy the building, there will be a restriction of this recorded in the courthouse. So for example, if someone wanted to come back and make it a Ferrari dealership, they would have to come back to the plan commission and amend the development plan that's there.
So the question before us today isn't how good the business is going to be or whether we like one store over another store. It's whether we need to change this to highway commercial. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Your name, please?
My name is Ruth Klum,
Okay.
2015 Wesley Drive.
Okay. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I've lived in this neighborhood behind this development for 35 years. We were the second house in this division. So I've watched it grow. My concern is that I don't want you to move too fast. There are over 100 new houses in the development that's going to be affected by this. I ask you, please, take your time. Talk to the people that are going to be impacted by this. I actually went through the neighborhood, excuse me, my voice, I'm not a good public speaker. I went through the neighborhood on Saturday to see how many people knew about this. Nobody had really seen it. I guess it was on Facebook. I think you need to take the time and find out what the people who are really going to be affected by this feel. And let's get the word out. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else have something they'd like to add? Contribute? Well, I'm not seeing anything, so we're back to you, ma'am.
Lisa Thompson Meyer, 13341, Highway 136 East in Henderson.
Thank you.
Some other concerns that I have are actually employing some undesirable people in that area. I think that's on a lot of people's minds around there. And one of the things that I don't understand is if they build it there, it's what, 2 miles maybe to the other one, just going through town straight down Green Street? Are they going to take the donations from there and send them to other stores and other locations? You know, if they think like in Grantwood or in Balmoral or some of those, they're going to get a higher level of donations, and they would, you know, ship those somewhere else or whatever. There was an article I read, I don't remember where I read it, something about a motorcycle that got donated at one store and that it kind of disappeared. But that's another concern that I have. Are those items going to stay in Henderson to actually benefit people who live in Henderson that are lower income, or are those going to be shipped somewhere else so they can get a higher profit?
Ms. Thompson-Meyer, are you against rezoning this to commercial generally, or just the type of store?
The type of store.
Right, which isn't before us today, correct?
No, but it all comes in together.
It's not before us today.
But in my opinion, it all comes in together. You have your opinion, I have mine.
Very true.
Yeah.
Please continue.
And then my concern again is the clientele. The people they will be employing, they don't have any benefits, okay? And I covered that earlier. And then the undesirable people is also still a concern for me. And those are the things that immediately came to mind.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can someone speak to the question about where the donations end up? Thank you, ma'am.
Our business model is that we, as much as possible, utilize the donations that are donated at one location, we sell them at the same location. If we become overwhelmed with donations and it's more than that store can handle, we may transport them to another location just to make sure that they are able to be sold somewhere. But for the most part, the donations that come in one store, that's where they stay.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else like to address the matter? Yes, please.
My name is Susan Spiller. My address is 718 Center Street, Henderson.
You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good.
Okay, that was a very good point that you made, because that was a great question, probably one of the best questions asked. So, that we're here to discuss changing the zoning from agricultural to commercial.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter what business is located there, what type of business.
If it's a permitted use in the city zoning ordinance, then it could be allowed in that zone.
Right.
So like as Mr. Hamilton said, if it's a Prada store or a Goodwill store, from a zoning standpoint, they're both commercial retailers. It does not distinguish between level of perceived class.
So we're not deciding tonight on whether Goodwill is going to be there or not. We're deciding whether it's going to be a commercial property.
That's not correct. We are deciding if Goodwill is getting the rezoning as a co-applicant with the current owner. So yes, we are deciding at the very early stages if Goodwill is going there.
Okay. Okay, and then I have a question. What is a city park considered? Is that, it's not commercial, is it? What would that be considered? Is that agricultural? What's it considered?
There's a separate designation, I believe it's called Parks Recreation, on the future land use map.
Is there a zone that would entail that?
Typically, if it's a city park, it's exempt from zoning, so it could be just about any zone.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to make some comments that I see Henderson, I always have, as a growing community, but I don't think it's progressive. It's certainly not like Owensboro. I think that if we want Henderson to thrive economically, we need something that's higher class than a Goodwill building on that prime location that 69 is going to come through. So I think, I have some suggestions, as I'm sure other people do, but I'm not going to throw this out there. One thing I would suggest, however, would be the consideration of a park, because all the parks that we have in the city of Henderson are on the other side of the highway. There are about 4. We have no parks over there on that side of the highway. And when I-69 goes through, I think it would be nice to have a rest area where families could get out and, and stretch their legs with their children, a park. And that also addresses the wildlife that you were concerned about. So, so I think that we need to, consider Henderson becoming as equally as progressive as the community of Owensboro or even Madisonville or Evansville. And I don't think that putting in, we've taken away, we don't have a skateway. The kids don't have anything to do. We don't have a skateway, we don't have a drive-in. I think we have a bowling alley, I'm not sure. But, this is a family, about to shut down. We have a family-friendly community, and especially out in that area. And I think that we need to, these are some things that we seriously need to consider. And the increase of the property values, as you said. We certainly don't need to decrease the property values putting in a Goodwill industry.
Okay, excuse me.
So that's it.
Well, okay. You can come back and speak again.
Oh.
Anybody else want to address the matter tonight? Are you sure? Anybody like to continue? We're going to keep going as long as everybody says their piece. Yes,
I just want to point out that there are several people here from my neighborhood that aren't speaking. So there are several people in that Pebble Creek, Balmoral area that are here today that are feeling the same way I am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, whenever you're ready, I have an email to read into the record from Mr. George Warren.
Okay. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. This is submitted by George Warren. It was sent to me earlier today. Brian, sorry I'm unable to be at the meeting discussing the Goodwill project. I respect the citizens for expressing their concerns. I will not be able to give as much detail via email compared to in-person comments and questions. I own the adjoining tract, approximately 18 acres to the back of this property. My family hopes to make it a development that Henderson will be proud of, we anticipate professional offices and mixed retail. We have numerous property restrictions to protect value of the development. Therefore, we should like for the Planning Commission to consider the rezoning. And then he has a list of bullet points of requests. Street name to be Warren Drive, thereby 5 lanes. US 60 provides a clear separation of road access. Property border to be defined by shrubs and trees. Brick front, as they have their 2 Green River Road locations. Trees in the parking lot, some as in Lowe's, providing beauty and shade. Minimum of 8,000 for landscaping excluding parking for trees. Antique lighting along street, all power lines underground. Second lot should be restricted to professional offices or retail. This will be the entrance for many as they travel on Highway 60. We went to the site and future development that Henderson citizens can be proud, we want a future development that Henderson can be proud of. We want what is best for Henderson. Thanks to you and the Planning Commission members, George, Warren, and family.
Very good. Is that reading it at this point in the meeting, get that onto the record then, Counselor? Yes, sir. Has the applicant seen this?
I have not. I just received it today. I can share that once we get back into the office.
Okay. Anyone else like to address this matter?
I don't know if I'm out of order or for comments or whatever, but what the heck, I'm here.
You know what the heck.
My name is Susan Warren, 2570 US 60 East, and sir, I would like to correct you when you keep mentioning...
Time out. Time
I just
out.
want
You need to speak to me.
Okay, sorry,
Okay,
David.
what, your address?
2570 US 60 East, Henderson.
And you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I darn well try.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Please
David.
proceed.
Okay. You kept referring to the farm as George Warren's farm. My dad was Gene Warren, Gene and Alice Warren. My brother is George. I have another brother, Gene, a sister, Sarah, who has owned this plot, and she's the one that's selling it, and I'm Susan. So it's the Gene Warren property.
Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, I'm very glad to do that for you.
Good.
Okay. You know, in a time that we're coming together this evening, I hope that we can come together with the spirit of the community of Henderson, Kentucky that we're most concerned about. Right now, we don't have to worry about the Dow having dropped 10,000 points today. We don't have to worry about the international security code that State Departments put out throughout the world for us to be careful because of a war going on in another part of this world, a war. And then we don't have to worry about the tripling of the national debt. Right now, all we have to focus on is a small plot of land in Henderson. I would like to address the comments about the little square of Henderson County being in that area. After my parents died, the 4 kids, we divided up what was left of the estate. And my 2 brothers and sister, they wanted to become part of the city. I'm a bit more cantankerous. I wanted to stay in the county. I'm a farm girl. I want to be part of the county. So I said, no. And so we came down to a compromise, which is what we all will end up eventually doing. But I had purchased 5 acres previously and had the ability legally to make that remaining part of the county. I still have sheep on that. In fact, many of my neighbors here probably this past spring saw repeatedly a couple of my sheep, Jimmy and Bro, get out pretty much every day. Jimmy, you have to understand, he's preparing for the Summer Olympics, the high jumps for sheep. It's a new class, but he's preparing, and that's what he was doing every day. He would jump the fences that I kept putting higher and higher so he could go eat the soybeans, but nonetheless, that's why there's a little 5-acre square that's part of the county, and the remainder of it, I agreed to become part of the city. Just not a city person, even in Henderson. I want, as we're discussing this land, I want us to take a moment to understand that this land has been loved. It was loved when it was purchased back in the 1920s by an Irishman, came here in his 20s and bought that land for the development of his ideal estate. His name was Charles Argue.
Okay, before we go on, you used up your 3 minutes. Let me give somebody else a chance, if they wish. Anybody else would like to speak? I'm not seeing anything, so please proceed.
Okay, thank you, David. When Mr. Argue died, Mrs. Argue sold the property to my mom and dad. And then that's where we are now. At their death, as I said, it was divided into 4 plots, one for each one of the kids. My sister, who lives out of town, is the one that's decided to sell her property. She has attempted to sell the property for a number of years. And it turns out that Goodwill is the one that stepped forward to buy her property. All these other suggestions of other possibilities, great suggestions, but they've not stepped forward. Goodwill has. I concur with my brother on the improvements that he would like to see. I want to make sure that on my property, which is on the east side of the plot, is a lot of it's on a slope. I want to make sure that as water drains off according to city code, that there are retaining walls, retaining ponds that prevent a quagmire of water collecting down below. But I understand from my brother that that's city code and that will be addressed.
It will. It will be addressed during the engineering portion that I referred to earlier, the site plan.
Okay.
They will be required to detain their stormwater.
Okay. I also want to make sure that the privacy of the woodlands. I'm your, my brother's more the developer, I'm more the naturalist. I fight for the wildlife on my property. I fight for the wild turkeys, for the deer, and I want to make sure that their privacy in that wooded area below is maintained. And I would ask that good, healthy shrubbery be provided along there, along with the retaining pond. And it's just an aside, if you all could please tell your neighbors and your friends and your kids to respect our property. There is no hunting on our property, no guns, no bows, no hunting. We're having a problem with that. And I also want to ensure that, again, as my brother has mentioned, that there be greenery, trees if possible, that it be, and green grass, that there be more than just asphalt and rocks. And then lastly, I would like to say, is this going to be a good will or a good won't? I know that in your mission statement, it does indicate that you choose to help individuals that struggle in life, the disabled, peoples with poverty issues, and also substance abuse issues. I would like to see active involvement, which I've not seen on the South End, with places like the Hugh Edward Sandifer Center, to find disabled people that want to find jobs, and other groups in the county that deal with these disadvantaged peoples. To your point about the salary, I Googled, and not saying that that's going to be the end-all to everything, but there's a Stephen Preston who's the CEO of Goodwill International that makes $632,000 a year. So
That's the national. That's the national.
right, that's, yeah, right, the national. But I mean, that's just saying it starts there and then goes down, and then there's some noted at that site that I'm not bringing up, but we're in the couple $100,000 salaries. But I'm not going to go there because Google's not always the most accurate that you want to use. But I would like to see if, in fact, Goodwill does build, because I know of an individual that has disabilities that received no training while he was there, aside from how to hang clothes. And that's not what your mission statement should mean. It should mean that you're providing training for these individuals from a national level down to a local level.
Excuse me, ma'am. You've used up another 3 minutes and more. Anybody else want to have anything to say? Otherwise, we'll continue. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dixon. The South End store, I shop there. These clothes, these boots, my farm boots, they're from there. They've got good stuff. They also have furniture and other items, and they're well maintained. The staff there are professional, good people. But again, my point is, it's not in addressing their mission statement. If in fact they're known for their goodwill, it needs to be the goodwill for the population that they've expressed in their mission statement that they're going to provide for. And there are alliances that I'll be glad to provide you with, and phone numbers and people and things like that. And for, you know too, this Hugh Edward Sandiford facilities. So all I'm asking is, if you do build there, live up to your name, Goodwill. That's it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any questions from the commission? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This list of suggestions in this email, who would come up with the name of this new street?
It would typically be addressed during the plating process. So when they submit the plat, they can submit the requested road name. And from there, we would work with the city 911 and city itself to see what they would like the road be. In the past, they have expressed reluctance to have streets that are divided by an intersection just because it creates confusion. So we would address that through the plating process is the quickest.
Okay. The owner would make the determination, right?
They would make the request via the plating process, and the city ultimately has the authority to name it.
Okay, and all these other things, a brick front, trees in the parking lot, a minimum of $8,000 of landscaping, antique lighting, power lines underground. I think there's bordering, property border to be defined by shrubs or trees. All those suggestions, what becomes of them?
The suggestions can be entered into the record. The city zoning ordinance does not have an enforcement mechanism for those items, but I think it would be probably advised if the applicants were to address those items on their site plan, because that's where we're going to see more detailed information such as the detention pond, the screening, things of that nature.
Okay, and the applicant and their experts and their engineers will have this email?
Yes, it will be forwarded to them.
Immediately?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Susan Spiller again. Once we vote tonight, is that the final decision that Goodwill will then go forward with the plan?
So the process is the Plan Commission will make a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners has the final say. So once we make that recommendation, there's a 21-day window where any aggrieved party can request that the City Commission take the matter up. That's not to say that they will, but they can possibly take the matter up. That's outlined in KRS 2111, I believe.
Do they let the, so this is kind of asking the question about, do members of the community, can they address their concerns with anyone else except just tonight? With the City Commission or anything else? Is this it?
That's where the aggrieved party comes in. You have a 21-day window to reach out to the city to express your concern.
And how does that process work? Who do we call about that?
We have a form in our office that I can share with you, and then that way it can be sent to the city.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions? Anything else anybody like to add?
I'm Mary Scarlett Hill. I'm going to tell the truth.
Okay.
Whatever. 2966 Green River Road.
Okay, and you do promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and
I
nothing but the
just,
truth?
yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah. So I would like to see that beautiful piece of property enhanced and not suffocated with more concrete. I mean, you got a Bilo. You got an empty Walgreens. I don't know if anybody is really listening. How about, a Goodwill instead of pouring more concrete and suffocating? I've seen the wildlife. I live like 6 blocks away. I have seen the wildlife, and with this 69 coming in, it's going to be very limited for them, and I just would like to see that piece of property enhanced, like my sister said, a park, a zip line, swing sets, people coming from 69 that want to exit and let their children get out of the car and just spread their wings and whatever, exercise. Yeah, I don't want another concrete building. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, that's good
And
enough.
thank you for hearing.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions? Anyone else like to speak to this? Do we have findings of fact in this case?
Mr. Chairman, we have provided a motion directing staff to come back with findings of fact, either for or against. We typically do that on larger rezonings because there's so much information being put into the record that we come back with the findings of fact. The members of the public would know the Plan Commission's decision tonight, but there's two versions. There's a sample motion for and a sample motion against. I believe Heather passed that out earlier.
Does the commission have these motions?
I don't see it in front of me.
I don't see it.
No. Yep. Nope.
This is good. We can use this time to make sure that everybody has had their opportunity to speak to this.
Mr. Chairman, I would suggest that the Plan Commission, if they would like, if they make the determination of either for or against, make that subject to the Plan Commission staff coming back with findings of fact to support that decision. I believe staff, we have misplaced those.
Okay.
Are we ready for a motion?
Yeah, we close this.
Anybody else?
We have Mr. Chappelle to the rescue has his copy that I emailed him.
Okay.
Both versions. You're gonna make a motion? Make it.
It seems as if we are ready to call this for a motion, okay? Oh, yes, sir. Your name, sir?
Adam Blythe, 1653 Bruce Street, Henderson, Kentucky.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good. Go ahead, sir.
So when I first saw the announcement, I was like a lot of the folks, kind of taken back by what it was. So I reached out to Connie, the CEO, and asked for a phone call. She was nice enough to invite me to their facility in Evansville and gave me a tour and gave me an opportunity to ask some questions. I can tell you I went into that meeting with an attitude and a feeling of kind of, again, was hoping for a Schnucks or some of the other grocery stores. I can tell you after learning about the second chance employment, after learning about how they've affected adult education and got folks from Evansville to graduate, it made me feel much different. Hearing that their mission is 85% funded by themselves. They don't have to go out and try to find that mission, find those donors. They do, I believe, one fundraising session per year. But it was impressive to hear that they're able to reach out and do what they can, and they're self-sufficient, and they're doing that through these retail stores. I think that those retail stores give those folks secondary employment, like I said, as well as the idea of giving folks in our town an option to buy things and possibly resell it. I can tell you that I learned something that I didn't realize. 10% of their customers buy 50% of their products. So when we look at that, think how many young or old or anyone that's an entrepreneur that can actually have a chance to make some money. And I think that there's folks out there right now that are doing it illegally. But there's ways that this can be an end to where they can actually find themselves on the right side of the law. So as much as I can say I was against it at first, after taking the time to listen, to understand, and to understand what you folks do, I have to say that I'm for the project. And I think that as a city, when folks come to us and want to spend $5 to $6 million, we need to be more open-minded to what they're doing, what they bring. And my hope is through that conversation is to challenge them, is that I would like to see that adult education here in our town. We have an issue with graduation here in town, and I believe that they can help us with that mission. And by giving them the opportunity to come here and open a second store, I believe that will give them the opportunity to help us in more than just a resale store.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for the gentleman? Anyone else like to add to this? Good. Yes, ma'am, your name?
Diane Bremer, and I live at 929 Watson Lane.
Good.
My property is 2 blocks from this proposed site.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good. Go ahead.
I understand progress, and I'm for progress, and I understand this property will eventually be developed, whether it be with this project. The point that was made about the seller can't control who will come and offer to buy the land. That's out of their control, that's out of our control also, as far as the city making decisions. Zoning this commercial is the first step of the entire development that will go through the process, all the way down 60 probably to the new interstate interchange. And my comments today are more to the future and the planning for the commission, that we really put together a process to understand how important this is primarily residential area and how this commercial progress is going to impact our residential properties and how that impacts the city overall. But more importantly, we have the vacant buildings that were brought up this evening too. Again, we can't direct people to buy, but is there a task force that can be put together addressing some of these vacancies and how we can work with potential interest in our community in developing these older properties and renovating and rehabilitating, if you will. And that's really what I see a concern for, is the future and how we commercially develop these and what our plan is for that in the future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Interesting ideas. Anyone else? Sir.
If I could, to kind of sum a couple things up, I'd like to ask two very simple questions. One to Brian, if I could, please. With the future land use map that has been developed for this area, is the development that's before the commission tonight, is that use consistent with the future land use map of Henderson County?
Yes, commercial in nature.
And secondly, does the goodwill application for rezoning, does it check all the boxes for rezoning from the Planning Commission perspective?
It does.
And then, Jennifer, could I ask you a question, please? And you work for the Planning Commission. I noticed as part of the comprehensive plan of Henderson County, there's been a new chapter recently added. And the new chapter is enabling I-69, and that's in the comprehensive plan. Now, I-69 going through this county is constructed almost up to the bridge. It's happening. And there's different ways to do things, but Henderson County now has an I-69 running north-south through it. And there's been substantial planning in regard to that. This is not, we've come up with something a week ago and now we're bringing it and, there's been no planning. This is a component of the comprehensive plan that's been studied long and hard. And as one of the goals on the I-69 plan that's part of the comprehensive plan, page 4 of chapter 10, is 60 East. Is it a key commercial corridor that will go from I-69 into Henderson?
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about here. We've got an interstate coming into the county, and we have wonderful parks in Henderson County. I love parks. We've got good parks. But this is an interstate coming into this county, and this is a commercial designated strip, And this applicant is the first applicant to step forward, willing to spend millions of dollars coming before this commission to make that happen. We're putting our money, or they are putting their money to develop this county and bring jobs to this county. So as you're considering our application, I would ask your consideration to allow this county to develop as is planned pursuant to your comprehensive plan. And I thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
But I also agree that there's no need to rush it. That if residents are just now finding out about it, that they need to be more informed, fully informed, and they need to have a say in it. So, but you indicated that they will have a chance to do that.
Yes, they can take it up with the Board of Commissioners.
Exactly, okay.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Lisa Thompson-Meyer. One comment I have is, I think it was Adam mentioned that they were developing people, or if that's part of their advertisement so much, disabled people, developing them to get job skills and so forth. I would like to see some of the people, they've had a Goodwill store there on Green Street for a long, long time. I would like to see some of the people that they've worked with there and actually help them further their skill set and their job qualities and so forth. I think that would help a lot to see what to expect.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to respond about the mission, since that is something that has been brought up a number of times. The mission of Goodwill is to help people, families, and communities thrive through the power of relationships, education, and work. And the 34 employees that we have currently in the Henderson store, over 50% of them have self-designated as having some type of a barrier to employment. That may include a disability, it could include a history of criminal involvement, it could include recovery from substance use disorder, it could include housing instability. There's a variety of types of barriers to employment. The way we work with those employees is different based on the needs that they have. And probably you're not going to see that in the store as a customer. But that doesn't mean that we are not working very closely with these employees to make sure that they are having their barriers addressed. So as a quick example, some of the internal programs that we offer to our employees include our Good Guide program, where we assist employees who are struggling with a barrier to deal with crisis situations and also to deal with things that they need to do in order to achieve their goals and dreams. We work with people to help them find jobs outside of Goodwill. We're probably the only employee or employer in the area who is happy to see employees move on to better jobs in the community. That is our mission. We do provide extensive training for our employees to do the jobs not only that they are doing as an employee, but to also give them opportunities to grow within our company. We have training programs that address soft skills, that address manager in training. We're developing a driver in training program right now because we know that that is a useful skill that people would be able to go and find jobs to make more than the $13 an hour that they earn when they are at Goodwill, when they first join Goodwill. So our whole mission is to continually help people to grow and develop and learn and move on into better paying jobs and be contributing members back into the community.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions from the commission? Anyone else like to speak?
I think I need to say something.
Okay.
Sorry, Connie, I apologize.
Your name, sir?
Jared McIntosh.
And your address?
5741 Drakewood Drive, Evansville, Indiana, 47711.
You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good. Thank you, sir.
Well, first off, I would like to thank all of you and everyone who is here today for being here. We can tell that there's a lot of passion and desire to see the community of Henderson become better and also to continue to achieve your goals. One of the things that I wanted to say as the chairperson of Evansville Goodwill is that we believe in the mission that we're doing. We believe that what we do makes a tangible effect in the community. We did have listening sessions, 2 listening sessions actually, and many people in this room were there. We wanted to hear what the community had to say. We wanted to listen to what the community had to say and show that we wanted to be a partner to the community. Now, as we said before, we can't control who's going to go in this area, but we hope that this community sees that Evansville Goodwill is extending a hand of partnership and fellowship to the community of Henderson. And what we're asking for is for you to also shake that hand, that we work together, that this won't be the last time that we have listening sessions. We're going to make sure that we try to bring our wraparound services to the community of Henderson and make an impact that can benefit all of us. So I just wanted to say that we did want to make sure that everyone knew that if you have questions about what we do, who we are, why we're so passionate about this, we have several board members that are here. None of us are paid. We donate our time because we believe in the mission of Goodwill, and we want to make sure that your community believes in that mission as well. So please, make sure, come up and talk to us. Come see us in Evansville. We want to make sure that we work together with you and not against you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone else? Okay, let's take just a minute or so, catch our breath, make sure that we're said all that we can. I appreciate everybody's efforts and understanding here tonight. Okay.
You ready for a motion?
I think it's time we can entertain a motion in regard to rezoning 1182 with a development plan.
Well, I do not believe that a Goodwill store is the highest and best possible use of an intersection on what is going to be a new gateway to the city of Henderson. But this project meets all of the requirements of both the zoning ordinance and the comprehensive plan, and we have no legitimate reason to reject it. So for that reason, I propose that staff prepare a motion and findings of fact based on the record, recommending approval of rezoning 1182 with a graphic development plan for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2560 US Highway 60 East, containing approximately 6.03 acres, submitted by the Sarah Hutchison Revocable Living Trust, that the matter be tabled until the next regular meeting, that the public hearing not be reopened at the next meeting. In other words, that no additional public comments will be heard at that time, that the recommendation will not be reconsidered at the next meeting, and that this vote not be considered final action. This motion is regarding the applicant's request for a zoning change map amendment with a development plan to rezone from agriculture to highway commercial.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The motion is to recommend approval of this zoning change to the city commission. Correct? The motion is to recommend approval.
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion by the commission?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I've struggled with this, just like a lot of the commenters. This is, we are all, our whole commission, our community members, that's why we're appointed. And this picture right here is my community. I've lived right here in this area for almost 30 years. My 3 of my 4 adult children have homes within 2 miles of this, 2 of which I can see their addresses on here. So I've struggled with this as well, as far as what's going in. But I don't think it's our purview to say what's going in. if another developer wants to come in and they meet all the restrictions, they have the plan that gets approved, it corresponds with the master plan, then who am I to say it can't happen? I mean, if this was a Buc-ee's or a Love's Travel Plaza or whatever, I don't think it's, as long as it meets with the plan, the applicant, we're not voting on who the applicant is or what they do or with their business. And I wish them well. Definitely wish them well if this passes. But that's true, isn't it? We can't really say what the
Yes.
specific business is.
That's correct.
If they wanted to sell it to Target tomorrow, then it's a whole different set of.
The request is for a retail establishment,
Okay.
not for a specific store brand.
Right.
The
Understood.
request is for a commercial retail store, not a specific store name.
I'm with Frank. I don't really see that there's any good reason to say no, because we can't tell someone what to do with their business, except for under limited circumstances.
So long as it meets the requirements
As
of the
long as it
land
meets
use.
the requirements and it's a permitted use.
Mr. Chairman, I would just ask the Plan Commission members that are on Zoom to make sure their cameras are on when they vote, please.
Thank you.
To that point, we have a motion in a second, so we need to vote.
We have a motion and a second. We're now discussing
Call for the vote.
the motion, if anyone has anything else they'd like to add. If not, please call the roll, Madam Secretary.
Thank you. Kevin Richard,
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett,
Yes.
Mac Arnold,
Yes.
Dickie Johnson,
Yes.
Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Kevin Herron,
Yes.
Gray, Stacy Denton,
Yes.
Frank Boyette,
Yes.
Heather Crooks,
Yes.
Kurt Hamilton.
Yes.
Very good. The motion passes. Moving on.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order, did we vote on the minutes? I think we may have missed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we should probably do that before we go out of public hearing.
Yeah, let's, gosh, I was so,
Mr. Chairman, can we take a minute to let the
Yes.
crowd filter up?
Yeah. They got the heat turned up good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for your comments. We really appreciate I'm Alex's mom.
So, the lady that came on that owns some of the property, she said there was the city, some nothing the county. Is there a path for us to move from the county to the city?
okay. I messed up earlier and got the agenda out of order. So we need to entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the February 3, 2026 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second in favor of approval. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Minutes are approved. We're moving on to a proposed amendment to the Henderson County zoning ordinance. Mr. Bishop, you're going to help us with that?
Yes, sir. This is submitted by the Henderson County Fiscal Court, and they hereby propose and originates the amendment to the Henderson County zoning ordinance by amending Chapter 32, Battery Energy Storage BESS, as follows. Add 32.06 moratorium. The remainder of this zoning ordinance and all other ordinances notwithstanding, there is hereby imposed a moratorium on filing, processing, reviewing, acceptance by the Henderson County Fiscal Court, the Henderson City County Plan Commission, HCCPC, Henderson County Codes Administrator, the Henderson County Board of Zoning Adjustment, BOZA, and other departments, subdivision, agency, board, or commission of Henderson County government of any and all applications for rezoning, conditional use permits, or other types of publications for Tier 2, best project, and best installations. Moratorium shall be in effect until December 31st, 2026, or in such time as amendments to this article, if any, are approved by the Henderson County Fiscal Court, whichever comes first, unless repealed or extended.
Thank you, sir. This is also a case where we are conducting a public hearing to gather information on which to base a recommendation to fiscal court. Is that correct?
Correct.
Fiscal court.
I'm sorry.
Fiscal court will be the final determination of if there is such a moratorium and how long it will last.
Correct.
Okay.
And to reiterate, Mr. Chairman, similar to previously, this is regarding the moratorium only, not about whether or not Henderson County is permitting vests or not permitting vests.
Yeah. Okay. Not about, yes. It's about the proposed moratorium.
Mr. Chairman, do you
Yes.
mind if I add something?
No, by all means.
The staff has prepared a proposed motion with one change different than what was originally sent to the Planning Commission by the Fiscal Court. The staff recommends that the moratorium be extended for 2 years, such as solar and wind projects, or solar and wind moratoriums, excuse me. We have provided a document in your stack, I know that one's there, and that gives the reason for us having that. And the quick version of that is, as you can see, we have a lot going on. We feel like with the wind, the WEX process ongoing as well, as much breathing room as we can give ourselves would be greatly appreciated. And this would also align with the wind and solar moratoriums from a time frame. So with that, I'll do my best to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff from the commission? Do we have anybody here representing county government?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have anyone here this evening that'd like to speak in favor of this proposed moratorium? Yes, ma'am.
Deirdre McConaughey, 10512 Airline Road, Henderson. I would promise to tell the truth.
Okay.
I would very much appreciate the recommendation that the staff has put together, because as you all know, I've been at this for quite some time, and many of the things that we've talked about over the now years are indeed the things that I believe will protect the county better as improvements in the ordinance. But I have already begun, because when I presented this request here and was directed to fiscal court, and that was a process in and of itself, and so I've gotten through that, and now we see each other again. The point is, this also takes time. To meet with people, to meet with experts, to talk to community members, it all takes time to do it properly. So I think it's a very valid thing. What I might also add is that if we are fortunate enough to follow the staff's recommendation, I want to make sure that when it is approved, that the language for the expiration date reflects a true 2-year time period. This, would you call it a recommendation or charge that came to fiscal court, had an end date, and by the time it would have been approved, it would have been reduced to something like 7 months. So we need to make sure it's a full 2-year. Any questions for me?
Do you have any idea what the purpose of this moratorium is?
Well, I think Brian is right that to the extent that planning or other people are involved, it gives us time to reach out to experts that were not contacted during the drafting of the original ordinance. I have begun collecting, along with my attorneys, representative ordinances. This was a very new technology when it came to us. A lot of people didn't know I didn't know what a BES was. So the purpose of it would be to strengthen, because we know more, there are more ordinances to use, parts, to leverage from. Some of the technologies and the chemistries of the batteries, that has changed and requires study. And at the fiscal court in December, there was a presentation about essentially what I refer to as the magic foam that will extinguish lithium-ion fires. Now, I need to meet with those people, or someone does, because maybe it solves a lot of the problems, or maybe it creates additional ones by introducing other toxic agents. So does that answer what some of the things might be that we would be looking at?
The intention of this moratorium is to amend or rewrite the existing ordinance.
Correct.
I guess I should have just said that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on why we're doing it.
Text amendments to the existing
Okay,
ordinance.
very good.
But those are examples where the ordinance, where they
Okay.
might come about.
Okay, thank you.
And no more questions.
Any other questions?
I guess, Mr. Bishop, the way the wording on this proposed motion is, I think it meets the request of a true 2 years, right? Because it's 2 years from final action on this.
Yes, and we give the approximate date, and basically what I did there was look at our meeting that we would come back and then project 2 years into the future is how we got that date.
Okay. And
So I have a question. So Brian, are you saying that the final language will be from the point of time that fiscal court gives its approval at a second hearing?
Yes.
That's when we start the clock on the 2 year. That's what'll happen?
Fiscal court's final action.
Exactly. That's great. Okay, good.
And of course, we're making a recommendation, so fiscal court can, they
Well,
don't have to follow
that's
our
true, too.
recommendations. So
That's
they can
true,
go back
too.
to their 1 year or however many months they want.
That's true.
Okay.
But you haven't voted yet, so I'm going to
No, we
sit down
haven't.
and watch that.
Anybody else want to speak in favor of this moratorium in any way? Would anybody like to speak in opposition to this this request from fiscal court? The commission have any questions for anyone? I'm hearing none. I'm seeing no one else who wants to bring anything forward. Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion in regard to this proposed amendment to the Henderson County zoning ordinance.
All right, well, I'll read this proposed motion, and then we can vote how we may on that. I move that the staff prepare a proposed motion and finding of fact based on the record, recommending that the Henderson County Fiscal Court insert a date in Section 32.06 of the Henderson County zoning ordinance of approximately 2 years after the date of its final action, which may approximate May 2nd, 2028, but again, it's based on that final action. Otherwise, recommending approval of the proposed text amendment, that the matter be tabled until the next meeting, that the public hearing not be reopened at the next meeting, no additional public comments be heard, that the recommendation will not be reconsidered at the next meeting, and this vote shall not be considered final action. This motion concerns the proposed zoning text amendment originated by the Henderson County Fiscal Court regarding battery energy storage systems.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This motion would approve a recommendation to extend the moratorium 2 years, correct?
From final action, yes.
Okay. Any further discussion from the commission? Madam Secretary, I'm seeing none. Please call the roll.
Thank you. Kevin Richard?
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett?
Yes.
Mac Arnold?
Yes.
Dickie Johnson?
Yes.
Gary Gibson?
Yes.
Kevin Herron?
Yes.
Stacy Denton?
Yes.
Frank Boyette?
Yes.
Heather Crooks?
Yes.
Kurt Hamilton?
Yes.
Very good. Motion passes. I'll entertain a motion to leave public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of leaving the public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We are out of public hearing. We're moving on to the non-public hearing items. The first one being the February finance report. Ms. Thompson?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In front of you are the February income statement and balance sheet, or financial statement. We're 8 months into our budget now, and we are at 68% of our budget, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for staff concerning the finance report? I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the February finance report, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Very good. Finance report is approved. Next item on the agenda is the bond report. Ms. Marks?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one project for renewal. It's the Elevate Estates, the sewer bond that we currently have on that project. Originally, it was at $90,740. After speaking with HWU, the majority of the sewer line has been installed and tested, so we can reduce that amount. The subdivision regulations do limit us to only reducing that from the original amount, 35%. So my recommendation would be that we lower the amount to $31,759 until it is completed and accepted by HWU.
Very good. Any questions for staff concerning the bond report? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of approval, say yes.
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 Any opposed? Good. The bond report is approved. We have some administrative business we probably need to touch on, Mr. Bishop.
Yes, sir. The staff has provided two proposals from two separate engineering firms. The first is, if I'm saying this correct, Hankard Environmental, provided by Mr. Michael Hankard. He would testify in relation to currently number one on our workflow. He would address things like noise and vibration caused by wind turbines. And then the second consultant would be Morley and Associates, specifically Mr. Jim Morley and Mr. Kevin Lasher. Mr. Lasher is the one with most experience in the Morley firm, and we think they can help us with the shadow flicker portion of it, which leads to a staff request.
Excuse me, what we're talking about, of course, is wind. We've switched to wind energy, right?
Correct, sorry.
To make sure everybody's clear. Brian has described the recommended consultants that we would contract with to assist our fact finding.
Sorry about that.
Everybody has a copy of those. Okay, go ahead.
And Mr. Chairman, we also have provided a recommended draft of updating the plan to reflect these consultants. The consultant that we reached out to for the acoustic portion would be unable to make the March 18th meeting, so we would recommend switching number ones and twos. So that way, number one becomes land use siting criteria, which Jennifer and I feel like we can do the majority of presenting there. We would not need outside consultants for that.
Okay, and that would be, that public hearing would be conducted on Wednesday, March 18, 6 o'clock at the fiscal courtroom in the courthouse. How would we notify people of this change in the schedule?
I believe we can make that change or that known via our website and via our Facebook page.
Okay, I mean, this would be the second time we've adjusted these. And I want to make sure people that are prepared for one thing know what's really going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Question for you. Is it a foregone conclusion that we're going to hire these consultants? Is that part of the budget?
Okay.
Yes.
By all means, go ahead.
Yep. So the fiscal court has allotted an $80,000 payment to the Plan Commission, which we have put in our reserve account to cover the expenses of these. So as we progress with the consultants, and others most likely will be coming as well, we will transfer from our reserve account to pay the consultant. It will not come from the Plan Commission's general account.
Okay. And my second question is, and this just comes from my experience in litigation. I've hired lots of experts to help my clients in litigation. Eric and his firm have hired lots of experts. Why would the Planning Commission, sort of the deciding entity, use taxpayer dollars to hire experts versus having the parties, the people who are for these, this sort of an amendment, this sort of ordinance, and then the people who are against it hire their own experts, and then we can listen to opposing experts and make a decision.
So twofold. The one, I'm assuming the parties that are in favor of building, the potential applicants will have their own experts. We were tasked by the fiscal court to find experts to present, and that's why they're paying for it. This was a fiscal court request that we seek and obtain the services of these consultants. That was done by the fiscal court itself, not the Plan Commission.
I think we're trying to avoid a David and Goliath situation.
Understood. Okay.
I think, plus there was, when we first started this discussion, in a setting like this, people encouraged us to seek expertise beyond the meager means that we have on our own.
Are the consultants going to be tasked with reviewing all the testimony that we've heard in prior meetings, where we've had, so many people will come up and be against it, people for it, et cetera? Are the consultants going to basically summarize that testimony?
We will provide that testimony. We have not got into the exact details of what they will summarize and what they not. Everything we know are in the proposals that we provide.
I think they might provide more testimony than they summarize someone else's testimony.
And because they're working for us, the supposition would be that they're not going to be influenced by applicants or people who are opposed.
They're not coming in with a position.
With a position, right, okay. All right, thank you.
Do we need to vote to approve your recommendation of the consultants this evening, or is that something that we can do at the next meeting, or does it need a vote at all?
I would encourage a vote.
Always vote.
Okay, is that something we?
Mr. Bishop, just to clarify more, the reason the request to reorder the agenda again is due to unavailability of subject matter experts for the March 18th.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that was clear to everybody, that's why, because we felt like there was actually a real reason.
And Commissioner Richard, by doing that, that keeps us on the schedule that the Plan Commission has tentatively agreed to, so that way we're not losing ground.
Yes.
So I guess my question, do we need two votes? One to change the agenda and one vote to hire the consultants?
Yes.
We do need to vote on changing the agenda?
If it's already been released, I will.
Yes.
Okay. So let's, anybody else, any other questions? Like I say, we're laying groundwork for the first of these public hearings. The other thing that you have is, which I don't think we need to vote on right now, but we do have proposed speaking rules for the wind turbine public hearing. Once again, in response to input from the public, we've recommended, or will be recommending, that the limit go to 5 minutes.
Correct.
Instead of 3.
Correct.
And then added on a 3-minute rebuttal type period. As I say, in response to folks that shared their thoughts on this some time back. So, what about the hiring of the consultants? Is anybody in can we get a motion on that? Move that forward.
So just to clarify, the hankered would be only for the meeting dealing with noise, vibration. Morley would be as needed for the remaining.
Correct. So, for example, they would take the lead on shadow flicker, and then they would also help us with environmental and ecological impacts, transportation, safety engineering. It's a more all-purpose and not as much of a niche discipline of engineering.
But I recommend making that motion broad, just in case you need.
Yeah.
Don't limit the.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept staff's recommendation?
So, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to, based on the quotations received from staff, approve the hiring of these 2 engineering firms as needed, using the funds provided by the Henderson Fiscal Court.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Crooks.
Yes.
Kurt Hamilton.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes. Then we need to entertain a motion to reorder the public hearing topics. Before we do this, as I think we first discussed when we first looked at this schedule, we are not committing ourselves to this. We can get 2 or 3 hearings into this and change gears, right?
Correct. It is meant to be fluid and up to the Plan Commission's decision on how they want to progress.
You know, fiscal court has given us time to tackle this topic, but we don't have to take up all the time they've given us.
Correct.
Okay. So the next item is to reorder the agenda, and we're going to let everybody know in every way. Do we have a mailing list, emailing list of folks that have indicated an interest in this?
We do not, but that's something we could start collecting.
I think that'd be wise. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to reorder the agenda as recommended.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. Kurt Hamilton.
Yes.
Heather Crooks.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Very good. Motion passes. Any other administrative business, Mr. Bishop?
Well, one correction on what I said. We have a de facto emailing list, and that the folks that have signed up would get an email notification every time we post our agenda. So once this is posted to the website, it will be emailed or texted them, whatever method they chose when they signed up for public notification.
Okay. So we can make use of that.
Yes.
And we should encourage other people to participate too, if there's any way to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No more administrative business. Any other business? The commission have any other business they want to bring forward tonight? Anyone visiting tonight want to bring something forward? Good. Thank you, ma'am. Your
My name is Melody Thompson. I live at 4409 State Route 416 West in Roberts.
Okay. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Always.
Good.
Thank you, Brian, for clarifying the time limit. Would you explain how we need to get materials to you?
So this is, again, that'll be a bit of a fluid situation. So we have 2 issues we need to tackle. One, it actually being entered into the record, and then 2, how staff would disseminate and share that with the public. I think our recommendation would be bring a hard copy that's entered into the record that we physically have, that we put into a folder.
Okay.
And then I would request that in a digital form that we could collect and then provide to the Dropbox links that would be widely available to the Plan Commission members and the general public.
PDF's easier because it's searchable.
It is. And if for some reason someone's not tech savvy enough, if they bring in a printed article, the staff can take that and scan it and upload it that way. It would just make the process a lot more efficient if you could email it to myself and Jennifer.
Okay. What about digital or visuals?
I believe the Plan Commission, this is going to be their discretion, has said they would allow visuals via PowerPoint. Again, I would ask that you email that to me and Jennifer, so that way we can basically do antivirus scans on it to make sure we're not uploading anything to the city or county's computer. They tend to frown upon that.
I would hope so. Okay, so that covers some of my questions. Could you repeat the name of the first expert that you mentioned?
For the acoustic portion? Hankered Acoustics, I believe, is that Jennifer? Yeah.
Hankered?
And, yeah, Hankered Environmental, and I can provide a copy of this if you'd like to email
I would love that, thank you. Can you tell me just briefly, because I know this is a very complicated issue and it should be, what the criteria is that you're using to select people?
So it depends on what the topic is. So for example, with Mr. Hankard, he has a track record of working with acoustics. He has published data He has published pre-filed testimony with other states' Public Service Commission. So it's going to be a combination of experience and education.
Okay. And availability.
Yes.
And I appreciate that you have to adjust your schedule, and I think it has to be fluid to some degree, but that also means there are others of us that have 16 days to totally change gears. So keep that in mind. Because we're working as individuals that are concerned and want more answers and have questions and more caution, we want as much information as possible to make decisions, not from emotion, but from fact. And also from countless conversations with other communities that have dealt with these decisions and the struggle that it is to make good decisions for their community. Another thing I wanted to just point out is I do appreciate that the fiscal court has awarded $80,000 of the community's money to hire these experts, because the David and Goliath would be very real. We would struggle because at this point we feel like there is very good reason to invest what we have in our own bank accounts to be completely prepared for this and informed. And part of that is good resources and good experts. And I brought to the commission in a previous time concerns about bias in all of the research that's out there. That's very real. It probably is on both sides of the coin. But keeping that bias in mind, we have to filter things through that lens when we go through these experts and we hear this testimony. So I appreciate that. 5 minutes, that's going to be tough to be a limit for conversation. We'll work within that, but when we take just to use an example, health, Steve Rain will have material for that evening to take his conversation, his presentation, and break that into 5-minute increments is going to impact how you hear it, how others hear it. So keep that in mind, and I would ask you to consider at least increasing that number by some. So, you have any questions for me?
Any questions from the commission? Very good.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Anyone else have other business they want to bring forward?
I don't see any.
Are we sure? If we don't have any other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you, folks. Thank